Hey, in this video we will be loading high scores from a text file into our Unity program. So I want to be able to read this file and parse each of these lines as a separate high score. So I'm going to have to read the whole line, split it at the vertical pipe, and then read the left half as a name and the right half as an integer. Okay, so this is going to be in my load function. I'm going to use a stream reader this time. And I will have to specify the path of the file. I can get the same exact path right, and I should be checking here if this failed, but I'm gonna just keep going anyway. As long as the file exists, it should not fail, but it's good to error check here. So let me see. I want to go through this whole file, and then I want to close it when I'm all done. To go through the whole file, I want to keep looping through each line as long as reader.peak is greater than -1. So when we went through file IO, peak tells you the next character that it sees in the stream, and if there is no other character, if we're at the end of the stream, at the end of the file, we'll get a -1 from this. So that's how we can tell when to stop reading. So now I need to read in that string s, let's say, reader.readLine. If it's a blank line, so if the length of this string is 0, then let's just skip it and go on to the next reader.readLine. Otherwise, let's try to find the that vertical pipe. Alright, so there's no find. What else can we use? Index of. That would be helpful. There's a char value, it gives us an integer. Last index of, that could be. So it finds, it keeps looking until it runs out of characters, or it looks from the back, and it'll find it. You can also use split, where you can specify which characters should split up the string, and then you can get multiple strings, like it returns an array of strings after they've been split, using the delimiter that you specify. So let me try just last index of sounds pretty good, because then it's okay if they put one of these into their username or their name. So char value, I want single vertical pipe, and that should give me an index that's the last appearance of this character in the string. So I kind of need to look this up to make sure. I don't know what it returns when it fails, so let me check that out. Okay. Last string of returns -1 if the character is not found in this instance. Okay. Well, that's what I need to know. So if index is -1, then we have a malformed high score, and we'll just ignore it. Otherwise, we know that we have a left half and a right half, and so we'll kind of treat this string separately. So the name, let's say we need to make a high score object first. call it HS. HS.name is going to be the left-hand side of what we found. So the string dot, and then let's do substring. Get just one piece of this. So I can specify the starting index, which is 0, and the length. So the length is the number of characters to include in this string. What I got was an index. So if this was at, say, index 0, then there would be no name, a length of 0. So it sounds like index is the one, is going to tell me the length. And then I'm going to have another one. Let's see, string. I think I could do it without a temporary variable in here. All right, we need to make sure that we can parse this successfully. So int.tryParse. So that we need the string, and then we need an integer to put it out into. So I can do the string s.substring. Starting index is going to be index plus 1, because we want to skip that vertical bar. And then the length is going to be the length of the string minus that starting index. So s.length minus index, and this should be together, index plus 1. 1. So let me make sure that this logically works. If the vertical pipe were all the way at the end, then s.length would be 1 more than that index. 1 more than that index, it would be 0. Alright, looks like it works. Okay, try parse, and then we need to put it out into an integer, which we have. Okay, is that too many? No, I need one more. Okay, so this will return true if it works, and in that case, then we have the name and we have the score saved in there. We can add it to our list. Right now, though, it's possible that we've run this load function multiple times. We should actually make sure that we clear our list first. So after I create the reader, let me do my scores.clear. Get rid of all of them. And here we'll be doing scores.add. And we'll add that high score. Okay, so let's try it out. Make sure this is closed. Okay, so it's hard to tell that anything changed. When I open it up, it still looks the same. However, I can look at the modification time, and it matches my system time. So this file did get written to and changed to store that data. It's the same data as before. I can also demonstrate it a little by adding a score in here, adding other scores. And let's see if I can do this. Let's press play. Cool. And then the time has updated and the scores are still there, the same scores. What you could also do to test it is you can write in your script to respond to a key press to save and load the high scores, and then you can try messing around with the high score file or deleting it or whatever to verify that it is being generated correctly. But that's the start. That's how we can get moving with saving and loading a high score table. In the next video, we'll be talking about the UI that we'll need to represent it. I'll see you then.